So now that we have that, let's just implement the function that we allow us to tell the user to connect their wallets. So I'll just call it const connect wallets. So it will be awaits. It will be an asynchronous function. Anytime you're using, you can see here we are using awaits. You can see we are using awaits. You must define that function as asynchronous, otherwise there will be an error. So if you know you want to use await, meaning that the action might take some time and you want to wait for it, while you're waiting for it, you also want to be doing some other thing, then you should use async await. Now, if type of window dot Ethereum, so it's just we replicating what we did here. If the person has Metamask installed, then we want to try and connect them. So if they call this function, that means they are trying to connect their wallets. So what we want to try to do is to say that try, because it might actually throw an error, then try catch. So this try catch is just a way of you running a function that you're not sure if it will throw an error. So and it's you just preparing for the error. If there's an error, you are ready. So we are catching it if it's throw an error. So if there's an error while the user is trying to connect, then the error will most likely be that the user rejected wallet connection. That will most likely be the reason. You can see check the error too. Yes. Alright, so what do we want to try? We want to try to get the accounts of the user that they have tried to connect their wallets. Await window dot Ethereum dot request dot request. The method now will be its requests accounts. So once you get the accounts, then you want to set your accounts to that, because that is what we are going to be using always and always regularly. Right now that we have that, I'll just save this and let's see how to now link it up with our application. For us to be able to link it up with our application, we need some return value, so which should be here. So let's just return the supply chain context dot provider. So we pass the children, this. So we pass the children, supply chain provider, and then we have the value. Value that we are passing is passing the provider. So these are the values that we want to be available to the components of the application. We want the provider to be available. We want the signer to be available. We want the contracts to be available. Don't forget all that is coming from here. So now we also want the accounts to be available. So from there, we also want them to be able to call the function that we have defined here, which is the connect wallets. We want that to also be available. So as we continue to implement our function, we'll be making all that available to the user. So you can see that the user can now interact with the contracts. You can call the function that you have declared as public. That is the beauty of linking your blockchain to the front end of the application. So now that we have that, we can just come here and say exports costs use supply chain our function now supply chain, and we are returning use context. And what's the context now? Supply chain context. So that is how to declare this context. So in order for us to link it up with our application, where do we do that? We just go right here into our, let me just close all this, just come right here, our root application, where most of this, where your application starts running. So you can just define it here. You can just wrap your provider around your entire component, and all your components will have access to the components, but the context value. So make sure, once again, just for emphasis sake, you import your provider. This is your provider here, your supply chain provider. You wrap it all around you. That's how you can see that we are passing children here. So you wrap it all around your components. So that makes all the components to be able to access it. So you do that right here in your default page. So for you to do that, you just need to import the context, the provider. So I'll just say imports. Don't forget we are exporting it from here. Exports. Or we are not exporting it as default. So that means we need to import it as supply chain provider for you to be able to trace where I'm getting that from. Currently, this is where you are in the app folder. You need to leave that folder and enter the context folder. To leave a folder, just do // then you see, you enter the context, then you enter the supply chain context, then with that you have access to your supply chain provider. So what you just need to do is just to wrap it all around your components. So just do provider. So this is the opening tag and this is the closing tag. So just go and close it up here. And we are good. So let's see how to work with our connect wallet function now. So work with our connect wallet function. Don't forget that where we have, let me run the application again. Let me save it now. And you can always run the application to be sure everything is still fine. So far so good. npm run dev inside your front-end application. Don't do npm run dev in your blockchain folder because it will not work. You only have Nest installed in the front-end application. So I'll just copy this. Then I'll open my browser. Now come and refresh this. So everything is working so far so good, but just as a sign that what we did is actually working, initially it is triggering me to, it is prompting me to connect my Metamask wallet. So you can see once I reload the page, it's brought up my Metamask and it's asking me if I want to connect it to this particular page. And yes, I want to do so because I need to do so if I can interact with this application. So, and if I also want to disconnect, it's as simple as just coming right here, open my Metamask. So once I open, just click on these dots, then I can just disconnect my account from this page. So it's not like, it's not, if you do it, you can redo it. You can undo it. It's all good. Depends on you. Now that we are sure that we can interact with our Metamask, now let's now go ahead to work on this connect wallet, where if the user is connected, they will see their address, and then if they want to connect their wallet, they can just click on connect wallet for them to connect their wallet. So we are doing that in our navigation bar. We are doing that in our navigation bar. So to enter your navigation bar, just hold your control and click. Hold your control and click. So we are here now. We need to be able to call the connect wallet function from here. In order for us to be able to do that, we are going to be needing this particular context. Apart from the provider, we are going to be needing this. This is where we can use it. This is the provider, and for us to be able to use it, we need to get this use supply chain. So let's do that. Let's do that. Import the use supply chain. You know where it's coming from. Let's just do this. Of course, it's still the same thing, but just want us to be able to list relate with whatever we are doing. Click the current folder, enter the context, and from there enter the supply chain context file. There you can get the use supply chain. So with the use supply chain, we are going to be needing two things here. We need the don't forget the things we are passing. We are passing the account, so we need the account. Know where that is coming from. And also we are passing the connect wallets. We also need that with the connect wallet function. Because once you click on connect wallet, we want to call the function in order for them to be able to connect to the wallet. So we'll just do use supply chain, which is this. Then that should be the function. So that's the beauty. I just call this context and I'm able to have access to the value that is being passed with the provider. Since my navigation bar is a child of this provider, then I have access to that context. So now that I have that, I'll just go ahead to implement that. So don't forget our button. So I have the account. So if there's an account, that means the user is actually connected. So this is the account coming from our provider. So if there's an account, that means the user is connected. So with that, I'll just display their address. So this is the button I'm using to display their address. What I'm using to display the address. So this is just like an if-else statement. Let me erase this first. It's like an if-else statement. So if this is true, then display this. Otherwise, if it is false, display this. So it's like an if-else statement. So if this account is true, that means there's an account logged in already. Then I'll display the address. And if there's no account at the moment, otherwise, then I'll display the button for the user to connect their wallet. So, and once they click on connect their wallet, so I can add the function to say on click. So when they say click on the connect wallet, what do I want to do? I want to call the function connect wallet. You know where this connect wallet is coming from? From this. So if I click on this, then it will just call this function. See how beautiful it is. So now that we have that, so if the user is connected, I want to display the address instead of displaying this constant address. So, and what is the address? Anytime you want to write JavaScript function inside HTML tag in JSX, React, you use these curly braces. So you can see this is the same thing I did there, this same thing I did there. So I use these curly braces. And I'll just say accounts. However, if you have your account, let me just save it down so that you can see it. So you can see it. If I save it, let's see what we have. You can see a very long address. This might not be nice enough, especially on smaller devices. So it's better for us to shorten our address. Maybe we get the first 5 characters and the last 3 characters, so we can then truncate the values in between. So for us to do that, let us just write a small function that allows us to do that. Let's call it shorten address. So we are going to be passing the address to be shortened. Then if we pass our address, then return, because we need address for it. Then return nothing. Otherwise, if we have address, return this backtick. You will see it beside your one key on your keyboard. Tell the JavaScript function address dot slice. Get the first 5 characters. Then have truncated value. Then another JavaScript implementation address dot slice. Get the last 4 values from the back. If you see this minus, it means pick it from the back, the 4 values or the 3 values. Sometimes this always does not pick the 4th one, just pick the 3. So minus means pick it from the back. So with that, let's just call this shorten address function, pass it here. Then you will be able to see the difference with the application now. So now I can see it's better seen as a button. I think it's picking the fourth values with the 4th value with it, so which is also good.